What's going on? What's happening? Welcome back, baby. It is episode 18. It's a brand new day. I'm feeling right today, baby, over that sickness now. Let me talk to you. I'm Trish, y'all. What's happening? Welcome to the Millennial Masterclass podcast, where we service all millennial issues and we have a good fucking time. Okay, that's like the main thing. But we're gonna throw it down. No, we're gonna do something different today. We're gonna throw it down to the DMV, in the Ghost Story Central.
I never go second.
And we're gonna let us talk to you. What's good?
So
What's good, Sean? What's up?
And I never go second. Fuck. Hey, it's Shauna. Fuck, I'm sorry. You should have warned me. All right, whatever. We're talking down the way, but
just say hello.
She said it. It's cool. It's fine.
I said it. That's all I got.
Oh my goodness. Hey y'all, it's your girl Les. In Temple per usual. Well, let me not say per usual, got to be everywhere, but in Temple.
I mean, you don't tape nowhere else. I ain't never heard you tape from in Houston.
Yeah,
I also couldn't agree with that. I never heard it. That thing.
Yes, I just don't feel like bringing all the equipment and stuff, so I always make it back home so I can tape.
That's
but,
real.
If there's a reason to stay on the weekday, I might, but so far no reason. So,
but fuck the weekday. What you do this weekend? That's what I want.
Well, I didn't even get a chance to tell you, Tristan, because you was on the sick and shut-in list last week. But Shauna knows my aunt. She suddenly passed away last week. So
oh my God.
Yeah. So we've been dealing with all that,
my condolences, man. Jeez.
Thank you. Yeah, it's been a rough one, but we're gonna unite as a family and everything. So the weekend was spent, helping family, but also I got a chance to actually like rest and recharge because I had been going. I worked on some stuff for us, so it was a little bit of a mix of rest, relaxation, work, and then of course, grieving and being with family. So.
Well, that's a beautiful thing, but our condolences. What's this lady's name so we can shout her out?
No.
Yes. So shout out to my aunt, Joyce Robinson. Wonderful, beautiful woman. It's so amazing to see like the impact that she had on everybody. So she was a secretary at the high school for well over 24 years. And so just reading all like the Facebook messages from everyone she's like touched throughout the years, like my classmates before me and after. And then the high school actually is, I have to show you, I'll send it to the group chat, but the high school actually made 2 billboards for her. They like put 2 billboards up for her.
Go ahead.
Yeah. You made billboards? That's nice as hell.
Yeah. And then we're doing a balloon release tomorrow after school at her parking lot. And they had put up like cones last week with like her poster of her face and everything on it.
That's so nice.
Yeah. So it's just amazing to see like the impact that she had on everybody. And like, one can only hope when they leave this earth that they impacted people positively, and she clearly did. So she lived a wonderful life.
Rest in paradise, Miss Robinson. You will sorely be missed. My gosh, that's amazing though. I'm really, you know what? I don't know. Like, I never give much thought to like when I pass, like how I wanted to go, but I do know that I wanted to be a party. Like, I want people to walk in there, and I want like 5 people twerking. I want like, like pyrotechnics. Like, I want like a dope.
Because I always want the most.
Like, I'm just saying, I want a party. I don't want you coming in there crying and shit, talking about, oh my God, we miss him. Nah, nigga, come out, turn up for Tristan. Turn up for Tristan. That's all I'm saying.
I ain't gonna lie, I be saying the same shit, Tristan, because I kind of want my shit to be kind of lit. Like, I want people to be like, yeah, Shauna was fine,
Like, turn up.
I do karaoke in your honor, Tristan.
Oh, hell yeah. Like, hell yeah.
Every fast has that karaoke involved.
Tristan, just for that, like, Jesus, I don't know fucking karaoke.
No, but speaking of karaoke, that's probably how I got sick. Cause like I had started getting sick like the day before we taped last week, and like I don't know if anybody knew I was sick. Like, and then the listeners, they could tell, but like I was definitely sick as fuck. And then it just got worse. Like, oh my God, this last week I felt like somebody came by and just whipped my ass for a couple hours every day and then just left. Hey, I'll be back tomorrow to come whip your ass some more.
Oh, bro, that had to be COVID, because that's the same.
But we tested negative like 6-7 times. Like,
I felt like I got jumped. I was like, damn.
Goddamn.
Did y'all do the rapid test or the PCR test?
Both happened. Both happened. And then and then all came back negative. Scraped the brain and everything.
Like somebody beat my ass.
No, it was pretty fucking bad. Like, but the thing is that I didn't lose any taste or smell. That was the thing that everybody kept being like, well, you haven't lost any taste or smell.
COVID. That's
okay,
COVID.
Maybe so. But
Yeah,
I
I'm about
had
to say
this.
the new
Omarion
Omicron.
don't got that.
He wouldn't. He likes to dance and touch. It makes sense. Makes sense.
Yeah.
That's real. But yeah, so my weekend was a little nil. I did a little reading over the weekend. Caught up on a few movies here and there. But mine was filled with NyQuils and acetaminophen and just getting well. That was my Theraflus. Shout out to all these people that on these unpaid endorsements. But yes, all of that.
Well, we're glad you're feeling better and you're looking better too. Because last week I was like, if you need to take a week off, we can. Because
we had shit to say that people needed to hear.
You had that I smoke one pack of cigarettes a day voice. I'm like, oh no.
Sound like Jim Jones' mama.
Niggas just don't smoke one or two. Nah, niggas was smoking a pack.
Yeah, the nigga smoked all 20 cigarettes, every last one of them.
Is that how many coming back?
20, yeah, 20. Because you get 10 on one side, 10 on the other. Yeah.
Damn, I thought it was more cigarettes than that.
No, it's only 20, and that's why.
20 is a lot though.
That's a lot.
It's really not though, so because if you look at how fast cigarettes burn, it's really not that much.
I think people smoke like 2 cigarettes an hour.
Probably.
That's what I'm saying, man. And then like some cigarettes actually burn faster than others. So like the cigarettes you think you're getting a deal on, you're actually gonna end up buying more of them because they burn so fast. So it's whatever. Working in a retail store
can you relight them after you light them? Because what if you light it,
put it out? You can do that. Oh yeah.
Yeah.
But that's kind of like that's a for real smoker. That's a
trying to save from burning fast.
I gotta get I'll be right back.
You look like crack cigarette.
I got smoke half a cigarette. Y'all be right back.
I feel like if you relit a cigarette, you kind of give it crackhead vibes. Like,
right, that's what I say. You be like,
let go, let God. Like you should have done this.
Like that's the nigga that goes out like, let me buy a cigarette for you for $2. Let me give you $2.
Yeah. Wait, $2 is expensive. I heard people say one.
It just depends on what kind of cigarettes they got. They got unfiltered. Yeah, they may give you $2.
Let me get a single. Let me get a nudie. $1.
A Lucy? Yeah, back in the day.
Oh, y'all call it Lucy. Yeah.
It's an old term. That's an old term.
We a nudie. Oh, that's funny.
But I think it's time to jump right into it. I think we can't dilly-dally today because we have a very special show for folks, especially a very special guest we have today.
You didn't even let me say what I did this weekend.
I thought you said. I'm sorry. My apologies. Please say.
I ain't never even tell you.
Nigga, say shit.
The whole truth and nothing but the truth. What you do this weekend?
Exactly.
So I only want to tell this story because it's kind of funny, but it's kind of fucked up.
Please tell it. Please tell it.
This weekend, I've been on Hinge. I've been going on different dates with people who Hinge. I went on this date with this young lady, and we had a great date, bro.
Okay, I like it.
It was a great
date.
Then we get back to my house.
I'm sorry, because I know what happened.
We engaged. This bitch must have heard me. She texted me. Oh
shit! She the fed. She watching.
Oh man, she got the shit wired.
Okay.
No, all right.
You left a tracking device or like a hearing device in your house before she.
You know she did. You know she did.
I didn't even say that bitch name. But anyway, it was a great day. We ended up going back to my house. We had sex. Why did I call her somebody else's name?
Ooh.
During the sex.
Damn, during? Not even after or before?
Twice, bro.
Twice?
Twice.
Nigga, how you do it twice? How you fuck up twice?
I'm never gonna get sex again. I
mean, if you're doing it right, she gonna come back. She gonna come back if you're doing it right. Okay.
Okay. Well, she texted me, so clearly,
like I said, she gonna come back. Clearly.
I hope she. I honestly was kind of sad because I really do like her, so I can't believe.
But you know what that was though? It's like that. But you know what that was? Just diagnosing that. That was you had such a good time, and you ain't had a good time in so long. You scared yourself. You was like, oh my god, I gotta fuck this up somehow. That was subconscious. That was subconscious.
I also, when I was. And they were just like, yeah, clearly you have feelings for the girl that maybe called her. I do not like that bitch.
She getting in your own way.
She's not a bitch. She's a great girl. I don't like her though. Like not like in that way.
Right. I think
So,
Tristan
I
might be
don't
onto something. That
know.
was good.
No, but that
was good,
happens. You
Tristan.
do that, like especially when you get something good and you're not used to something good. Because the thing is that as you're describing it, I can see like
That's
the adulation on your face. You're like, oh my god, this was dope. Like I see the
Mhm.
endorphins in your mind. You're like, oh nigga, that was dope. Yeah, yeah, yeah.
I said,
And then I fucked it right up.
right.
I think that happens. We do that all the time. That's
Mhm.
us as a society. That's people. That's all that is.
Yeah, well, that was my weekend. Started off great and felt bad.
Well, girl, if you're listening, we love you here and give her another chance. She didn't mean it.
I mean,
She
clearly
didn't
she
mean
is
it.
because she on her line right now, so they'll be fine. I told
She's
you.
on my line. Hey, boo, call me. Just kidding.
After the show.
After, please, after
Be
the show.
sweetless.
Okay.
Whatever, Tristan, just go ahead.
All right. You know what? We got to jump right into this. We just do. We got a lot jam-packed for today. We have a fantastic show, but we can't get the show started. We can't get it started without doing it the right way. And the right way to do it is to start the bulletin board. Producer, take it away.
All right, my favorite part of the show.
Is it the favorite
So
part?
we have to start with some happy news. No more sad for now.
I'll fucking
Oh my God, the first in 8 weeks. Jesus.
Has it been 8 weeks?
Bro,
Probably.
you done heard about 8 different deaths. Every week, somebody done died.
You're
So
right.
you better
I
not talk
mean,
about no more goddamn deaths. Ain't nobody died. Everybody alive. Go ahead.
I mean, there was one. We are gonna hold off on that until more information is released. But like I said, we're starting off happy. We're gonna say congratulations, Rob and Rihanna actually, Fenty. She is a mom to be, and she looks stunning per usual. But
Niggas are mad. Niggas are mad. I have
can
never.
they be mad? They messed up.
I'm gonna tell you right now. I have received texts today about people I know that are upset about this. They're like, I can't.
They never had no chance on us.
What was their chances? Yeah,
I don't know. I don't know if they know her or not. But you know, it's
you
really,
do not reread anyway.
They do not.
Do we know how many weeks pregnant she is? Do we know?
No, that
she looks super pregnant, but
yes,
we
she
heard
does.
the rumors like from like August, September. Like those
there was always rumors though, even years before. But this time the rumors were true. But she looks maybe about like 6 months. I feel like that's when your belly really starts to protrude or whatever.
And apparently,
it
she took those photos like 5 minutes from my apartment. I didn't even realize. She really took a 5
You could have seen her this weekend if you just looked outside, but you was still,
nigga. I wasn't going outside to talk to anybody. Okay, first
if you just stopped your little your Newport coughs, you would have saw her.
So I could get the baby sick, and so I get the baby sick. Okay, that's great.
Oh Lord, no, they would exile you for that.
They would come in my apartment and jump in.
That's terrible. It would just be Leslie and Shauna podcast.
Nah, she took it under. There's this underpass.
You got Rihanna baby sick.
There's just this underpass like in Harlem where like it's like 125th or whatever. Like I've taken pictures there. I actually have a few pictures from there. And like it was Taylor. She recognized it. She was like, oh yeah, that's one. I'm like, oh yeah, we could have gone over there. But we wouldn't. We wasn't happening. It snowed this weekend and everything. We wouldn't do it.
Oh yeah, they had that nor'easter or whatever.
Oh yeah, there's still snow outside. A lot of snow outside. A bunch of.
How many inches y'all get?
We probably got like more than a foot of snow. We got a bunch of snow.
I know over there like Cape Cod, they had like what 2 feet of snow or something like that. That's crazy.
That's why I won't be there. Don't like right? Shouting either. Don't need it. Don't need it. Do you know what's most fascinating to me about this pregnancy though? Okay, so like everybody's like, oh my God, I wish I could have been. Oh my God. But like, you know what's really funny? Like ASAP Rocky and Rihanna, like for as far as I know, both keep a lot of bodies. Like they both have a lot of bodies under their thing. Because
ASAP like sexual.
Yes, because like ASAP doesn't he plan orgies or whatever?
I know what you're talking about.
For orgies, and then Rihanna, like apparently, as far as I know, she be fucking. Like, and I ain't mad at it.
We don't know that. We don't know that.
I don't know. I've literally heard confirmed stories of her walking into a bathroom and kicking niggas out talking about get out, I'm trying to fuck.
You don't know that.
We know at least 3. We know at least 3 people she fucked. At least 3.
No, we don't. They never confirmed.
So she never fucked Chris Brown, not one time?
Obviously.
So she never fucked Drake?
3 people.
She never fucked Drake?
Nigga, 3 people.
I don't know if her and Drake ever did anything.
Drake just looked like the obsessed ass nigga that wanted to keep dating her. She don't even look like she gave Drake no pussy.
All I'm saying is
I don't think
Rihanna
gave
seems
Drake
to me
no pussy.
that
I don't think so.
I think
you don't
he
think
let
she
her
gives
finger
the pussy
her,
out.
and then he was obsessed ever since. All he did was put the finger in it.
I'm gonna tell you right now.
Excited off site and just buzz early.
Yeah,
like
he was way too excited.
Yeah,
I feel like Rihanna's out here.
He put the finger in.
I ain't mad at her. I ain't mad at her. All I'm saying is I think this is a perfect match made in heaven because you got a nigga that got a lot of bodies. She got a lot of bodies that came together, and that child is gonna
What I'm
flourish.
saying is, we don't know
We
how
can't
many
be putting stuff
bodies
out
she
there that we
got.
don't know that.
Okay, I don't know how many
allegedly.
orgies ASAP is playing, but I know that nigga got more than 30 bodies.
Bodies she got.
How
just
do you
'cause
know,
she's
Tristan?
fine?
Was you there for each one? You got to say allegedly.
Oh my God, whatever, allegedly.
Leslie don't want to be
whatever.
sued. You better. What's the girl?
Is she
name?
gonna sue
Tasha
us for
K? Better
what?
get it together.
Anybody, you got to just be careful now that we're out here creating content.
I'm trying
like
to tell
this.
you that I'm happy for them because they got together. That's what I'm trying to
But
tell
you
you.
made an assumption, Tristan. Don't be
It
doing
ain't no
that
damn
shit on our
assumption.
live.
Like I promise
If
you,
Tristan gets sued, he gets sued by himself for the
you
record.
can't sue me for
Right.
the truth.
Leave us
you
out
can't
of
sue me
it.
for the truth. It's not possible.
Look, me and Leslie.
No, I wanted
I
to
don't
do
know
it.
nothing.
Come by. You know, Robin, I'd love to talk to you. I'd love to talk to you, darling.
All I know is that ASAP Rocky about to be a stay-at-home father because Rihanna got businesses to run out here, so he gonna be the
ASAP
one.
got his own stuff now too.
Taking
Now.
care of
He
Let's
looks
not
like a stay-at-home dad, though. He gives stay-at-home dad vibes. I can see that.
with the
Yeah,
big ass
and
orgy bed. Okay.
In it,
All
I
right.
didn't say that.
Leave it
No,
alone.
I did not say that. I don't know what you're talking about.
That is so
Okay.
weird. All we know and all we want to say is congratulations to Deanna and Rocky. They're both excited to be first-time parents. Both 33, looking forward to it. So congratulations.
But a lot of bodies. All right, now go ahead, guys.
So moving right along. See, this one gotta say allegedly, so we don't end up like Tasha K.
Oh
Because-
God.
I don't even
Okay.
have a couple millions to get
I want people to hear this
this
story, and what I said pales in comparison to the shit this bitch was spinning. But go ahead, drop it on them. Drop it on them.
Well, I don't know. It's on the same lines. We talking
It
about
ain't
lines and
either.
stuff.
It is. Well, nigga, we can get sued, so shut up, please.
Not for this. Go ahead. Tell the people what Tasha said. Go ahead and tell them what she said.
All right. So, as everyone has heard by now, Cardi B won her defamation case against celebrity blogger Tasha K last week. The jury sided with Cardi on all three claims of defamation, invasion of privacy, which was the name of her album, and intentional infliction of emotional distress. It's so funny because people are like, listen, they was like, she should name her second album Defamation of Character. That should be a great like follow up.
I mean, Snoop did it. Snoop did it. Murder was the case.
You right.
So,
I like it. I ain't gonna lie.
And that was a little more serious. I'm gonna be real with you. So
no, that was so serious. So the damages so far break down into $1 million for pain and suffering and or reputational injury, and $250,000 for actual medical expenses. Because Cardi did get tested to prove that she didn't have any of these STDs that Tasha
her doctor cost that much money. Damn.
I mean, she
Yeah.
got private practice. That nigga flew in a private
Right.
jet, you know? Different.
Probably got the results in an hour or something.
Exactly.
You know,
Like, damn.
So
No, this take 2
we be
weeks.
on the wait for like 4 days. Like,
right.
He said, no.
am I good or not, doc?
He said the facilities are on the plane, actually, so it's fine. We'll take care of it.
So jurors handed Cardi another win actually the following day in her defamation victory over Tasha K, deciding the celebrity blogger and her company should pay the rapper $1.5 million in punitive damages and also pay for Cardi's attorney fees. So combined with the initial $1.25 million in actual damages awarded, the total compensation that Tasha K and her company Kibi Studios, Kibi is her last name, should pay the rapper now tops over $4 million. Now, whether or not Tasha K has $4 million, I don't know, but she has actually started the appeal already because she got.
I guess so.
She's standing 10 toes down, which is crazy because in court they showed a video of her that happened like when all this stuff was happening, and she admitted like, yeah, I knew they were lies, but I posted it anyway and it went viral. That's what essentially lost her the case. But now she's still standing 10 toes down to the fact that she didn't lie, and she's appealing the verdict, which is going to cost even more in lawyer fees and stuff for her. But of course, with the appeal, it's going to delay her actually having to pay Cardi. So I don't know if she's just trying to buy herself some extra time to get the funds. I'm not sure. But at this point, she's just being loud and super wrong. But Cardi initially filed this motion back in March 2019, saying that Tasha K alleged that she had herpes and used cocaine and worked as a prostitute. And when Cardi was testifying, she talked about like how it really affected her mental health. She didn't want to be around her kids or her husband. It made her feel like not worthy and suicidal at times. So I know that her her testimony played a huge part in her winning the case as well. So thoughts, and this is why we told
I
Tristan
think
to
that I
say
didn't say
allegedly, because
anything
we ain't
that
trying to
damn
get sued.
crazy. I didn't say nothing that crazy.
But regardless, we still have to, be true.
You can't just
we
be
don't.
saying people
No.
got STDs and shit all willy.
No one said that.
Like,
No one said. I didn't say that shit. I know.
But you're
That
talking
Yeah,
about people's bodies
that's a
like you was
wild
there for every single
accusation.
one. You don't know. You can't say that.
nigga literally
Because, bro,
said in a
if you didn't
magazine
give
that I have
me-
a special orgy bed that I have for my friends to have orgies with, and I've been having orgies with my friends since I was 14. ASAP Rocky literally said that.
Did he say how many he had?
He did. He said it was in the hundreds. So thank you very much.
Wait, when the fuck he said that?
Go back. Go look it up.
No,
I can't make this up. I
I
can't make this up. It was too
She
wild.
wants your receipts, Tristan.
He literally had a custom bed made because of all the orgies he has, so he can have more people on the bed.
But when he was 14, where he get the money for that?
No. The orgies he used to have were on the roof of his apartment building in New York. He said that, and he started it back when he was like 14. So he's been doing these orgies for a while.
Ew.
Oh,
Anyway.
now that we have
no, still say allegedly, because again, you weren't there. So
it wasn't alleged. He literally said it. If it's alleged, then why ASAP lying?
Niggas lying every day. Like, I don't know. It's not.
No, but Tasha, she's tripping. Tasha's tripping. That's just all that is. Because the thing is that people do this shit all the time, chasing for clout. And a lot of times, people lie and think that it's a victimless lie. But the thing is that you don't realize what you're doing to folks. I mean, the type of thing that you can hurt them. People's mothers read those things, and and people can't tell lies from the truth. And the thing is that all you have at the end of the day is your word and what you did. And so that's a good win. I'm glad they did that. And maybe some of these bloggers will actually, try and use a little more discretion with what they say and talk crazy about people,
Yeah, I think Charlamagne says the best when he talks about how people say, oh, I have the freedom of speech and I can say whatever. He's like, yes, you do have the freedom of speech, but what you say has consequences as well. So you have to be cognizant of that. Like, you can say what you want to say,
said
but
that. That's funny. But anyway,
that's
hilarious.
Who would have looked at him for the moral clout? Okay.
Right.
I mean, he didn't grown a lot over the years. I will say that.
Has he? Because he still comes in
I
like an asshole.
I think he has.
He still comes in hot like an asshole every interview, but that's fine. Whatever.
I think that he switched up.
We listen to the Breakfast Club literally every day. So we listen to all his interviews that he conducts. And like I said, I don't always agree with some of the stuff he says, but for the most part, he's spot on a lot of stuff.
So is your album trash or is it garbage? You tell me.
He does not say that. He really doesn't.
That would be Charlamagne, but that's fine. I get it, man. You gotta have a shtick.
Yeah. But yeah, hopefully Tasha K bows out gracefully and just takes the L in silence, because right now it's not gonna look good if she
$4 million. That's the most expensive argument you've ever lost in your life. Just can you imagine arguing with your partner somewhere and then over here talk about, well, nigga, you was wrong. You owe me $4 million. $4 million. God damn.
Damn it.
That was the amount that Kobe paid for that ring that he bought his wife after his shit. Okay.
Oh,
you see what I'm saying? Like, that's a lot of money. That's crazy.
The thing is, when Cardi initially told her to take the videos down and tried to settle before it got to this point, it was only going to be around $75,000 for Tasha K, and she was like, "No, we're gonna take this to court." Like, she was just adamant. So it's like, man, you taking your $75K L.
Well, if you know you was wrong, why didn't you just go to court? I mean, why you just didn't settle?
Girl,
you should have shut your loud dumb ass
because
up.
The thing about it is that any publicity is good publicity. So Tasha was just using the fact that now she's in a case with Cardi B,
$4 million.
right? But now the punitive damages looking a little rough. I get it. So hey, it is what it is. Do we have anything else left on the bulletin board, ma'am?
Yeah, I found this story very interesting. I want to get y'all's take on it to see if y'all would ever consider this either for yourself or loved ones. But there's a cryonics lab based out of Scottsdale, Arizona, called the Alcor Life Extension Foundation, where it holds bodies and heads of people. Currently has about 200 people in there in the hope that they'll be able to be brought back to life in the future. So basically, they freeze the whole body for around $200,000, or just the head and brain for about $80,000. So depending on what your budget is,
This is literally Futurama. This is literally Futurama. What the fuck am I hearing about right now?
What?
Let me finish and then I'll get y'all's take on it. So it's in Scottsdale, Arizona. Like I said, the bodies are stored in a giant vessel of liquid nitrogen at negative 196 degrees Celsius. It was founded by Linda and Fred Chamberlain in 1972 after the couple met at a cryonics conference. In a typical procedure, the body is packed in ice and frozen before the blood is replaced with cryptoprotectant solution to stop ice crystal formation. It says for cryonics to be successful as possible, experts say it's best to begin the freezing process within 60 seconds of when the heart stops beating.
So you have to know you about to die.
I guess so. It's one of the things if you know
That's
you're on
weird.
your deathbed.
When the fuck do you don't really know? What?
Well, I mean, if you're sick, maybe, you know, and the doctor's giving you like say 4 months to live.
I got 3 months. Go ahead, take me.
Yeah, I don't know.
So
like,
then I wake up with
ever,
cancer?
like,
The hell? I'm good.
Yeah, damn. Do I wake up and still have the cancer, or do I wake up and the cancer is gone?
See, they didn't go
The
on
cryonics
that.
are not about
That's
to
a
heal
good
your
question.
blood.
Bro,
It's
if
not
I
about to
still
fix
woke
the
up and
cancer.
still had cancer, I'd be like, fuck, put me back to sleep.
Okay. You know what's really crazy about this? This is literally the premise for Futurama, the cartoon. This is literally exactly what happened. No, he was a pizza boy. He fell into a cryonics lab and woke up 3,000 years later. That's literally the premise for Futurama. That's fucking wild.
Really?
So, and then they would freeze heads and stems. So then, like some people, you'd only have their head, and a lot of celebrities. It's a wild cartoon. It's a good time. Maker of the Simpsons.
So Futurama got the idea from them because they've been around since the 70s. When did Futurama come out?
I mean, everybody's had this idea. Everybody wants to be frozen and live in the future. Like, you know.
Hell no, nigga.
When I go. Let me go see Jesus. I'm good. It's enough going on in this world. I don't need to come back. It's too much. Too much.
Oh my God. All I know is, I mean, it's a cool thing in theory, but like, I'm good. Let it go. Like you was only meant to live as long as you were meant to live. That's just all there is to it.
I feel like too many people are trying to play God when it comes to like, you know, clones and this and mutate. It's like too much.
No, because I just feel like then, like, you know, I just feel like had this technology been around at a certain point, then like imagine a bunch of slave owners walking around. You know, it's like I just feel like this is not the move.
How crazy would that be though? If there's already some that are frozen, they come back.
That's what I'm saying.
They said they could be frozen for decades or even centuries. So what if these slave owners within the next like
y'all niggas serious?
Come
y'all
back.
Niggas, are y'all serious?
They come back with their whips like trying to control.
Okay, I mean, they could try.
Right.
Look at that white man like, bro, this is not 1865. I will beat your ass.
I am dead.
Could you imagine the audacity?
Came to a whip with a gunfight. He brought a whip to a gunfight. He said, "Oh, word, bro, we got you. It's not a problem."
Really, nigga?
He said, the safety is off. He said, "The safe what? Bow. Goodbye."
Oh my gosh, brought a whip to a gunfight. That's funny. So I guess no takers from this group.
Nah,
on that.
I'm good on
That's
that.
fine.
I'm good. That's fine.
Yeah. You wouldn't even want like your parents, anybody in your family, any loved ones?
No.
Yeah, Leslie, you
the only practical application. The only practical application I see for this, it'd be like in like Batman or whatever, where like Mr. Freeze froze his wife because he cured the disease later, but he couldn't fix it at the time. So he froze her so he could cure the disease so he could have time to work on it. And then I think later he ended up healing her or whatever. So that would be kind of cool.
Yeah, that's you asked a valid question though. Like, would you come back in the state you left in? So if you did have cancer or some kind of disease, would you still have it when you came back? That's a valid question.
And if they've cured it at that point, well, then that would make sense. I could see that. But other than that, no, I'm good. No.
True.
Like if you had ALS, that'd be the perfect time to do it.
Oh yeah. Before it gets too bad. Yeah. That's real. Well, I found another story interesting. There are changes being made to the SAT test. Did y'all take SAT or ACT?
I took them both.
SAT.
I just did SAT. I didn't have to take ACT.
ACT is Midwest.
I heard black people do better with that though.
The ACT, I heard that too. I was like, dang, I should have taken that. But I mean, I did decent on my SAT, but yeah. So the SAT, which of course we all know is taken by prospective college students, is actually going to be transferring to all digital starting in 2024. And it will actually be an hour shorter. So this started last November in 2021 when they kind of had like a piloted test group, kind of tested out to see how it did. And actually 80% of the students said they found the test less stressful, and 100% of educators reported a positive experience overall for themselves as well as the students. And so pretty much it says the decision comes as the College Board has felt increasing pressure to change its stress-inducing test in the wake of the COVID-19 pandemic, and questions around the test fairness and relevance. Of course, underprivileged, people are at a disadvantage because, of course, richer people can't afford those test preps and the tutors and the whole college scam that happened with all the celebrity parents and stuff like that. So it says that schools have increasingly made such tests optional over the past few years, especially with the pandemic going on. A lot of colleges just said, we'll waive it, don't worry about it until we figure out what's going on with, COVID. And so as part of the changes, there's also no more number 2 sharpened pencils. And then you can actually use calculators now. So there I guess
you needed that. What's that? A T9 calculator? You needed that.
Yes, that would have helped. So it says that despite these changes, though, students will still have to take it in person at a school, and it will still be scored out of the 1600. So those are the only 2 things I'm going to say constant. But I mean, it only makes sense to go digital because we're in a digital age, and especially with the last few years with COVID, like everything is on the computer. So why are we still taking, handwritten tests like that? So I'm for it.
I just can't wait to see these new little hackers get together, because they're gonna be changing scores like a motherfucker. It's gonna be crazy. They're gonna be out here and if they were closed loop system, don't matter. We get into the scores, baby. It's gonna be all kind of new shit coming. I'm excited. This is exciting.
About that.
That's what I'm waiting on. I'm waiting for the scandals and the movies.
Mm-hmm. Love a good scammer. Wish that.
All right. Well, that's all I got for y'all this week. So I'm gonna keep my ears to the streets and report back next week.
And you know what time it is? Oh my God, today I'm excited than a motherfucker. You hear me? I am excited. Woo! Premature excited. That's that type of excitement today. There's a jolt of electricity running through.
As soon as you said premature,
that's exactly. Good. Better
than his pants. Calm down.
Look, I don't want to talk about it. My thigh's not sticky yet. It's fine. Anyway,
this
look.
left so fast.
It will always do that. That's how we do
premature.
Things. That's exactly what's up. Anyway, today we have a very special guest. Okay. All right. This man, we met him years ago at the Mecca. Okay. Like we meet a lot of people. It'd be that way. But part of Quad Drew, okay? Member of Drew Hall, step team right there. A killer right now, motherfucking engineer, nigga that know robotics, okay? Do you hear what I'm saying? Brother is a poet, a new poet laureate. Do you hear me? This brother he's about 10 different things, okay? A host, a MC, a professor, if you a student, okay? Let's give it up for Mr. Josh AnUrbanNerd Brown. Shout out to him. What's up, brother? Welcome to the show.
Welcome, Josh.
I appreciate y'all, man. I'm honored to be on this illustrious show.
So, no, thank you for stopping by.
Yeah, you called our show illustrious. He
did. He did say illustrious. That felt good, didn't it?
Yeah, it felt kind of good.
I felt it in my bones. Come on.
So today we're doing things just a little bit different. I got a game for y'all. So this is a game for everybody, actually.
Okay,
you don't know what's about to happen, Josh. Just like you, we are in the dark.
Perfect. Go ahead.
So back in the day, not even back in the day, it's like a year or two ago, I used to host karaoke. People don't know this, but we used to play this game called Name Those Lyrics. And I have some lyrics today from some important rap songs out there in the past. And to get a point, you will need the artist and the title of the song. And that is how we play the game. And so,
one or the other, but now we
R&B in there. Got some pop.
No, there ain't no R&B. But in honor, because we have an MC on the show today,
right?
We have a poet, if you will.
True.
And I can't say all of these is poetic, but I think y'all gonna know him. So let's get it popping. All right, now where does it start? Here it is. Okay. From the CO to across the seas, I'm guaranteed to make everybody
Bow Wow Bounce, right? No, wait, finish it. I should interrupt it. Hold on.
I don't know what that is.
Okay. I've been known to rip it down any place I be. You can copy, but it's only gonna be on one me. I don't ride no cars. If the man come, remember 14. I done started up a whole epidemic. Look, y'all know what I'm talking about. ever since I hooked up with the homie down south. TV shows, magazine covers, girls in groups,
I like Bow Wow.
we go with each other.
Is it Bounce with Me or?
First off, it is Bow Wow, yes, but the song was
Okay.
incorrect.
No, wait. It's what? Wait, am I getting my titles mixed up? It's not Bouncing. What's the other one?
Little
What's the
Bow
other?
Wow, you just don't know.
So no,
Oh,
But you move so fast across the flow, and then you
Take it
run
home,
through
take
my
it
mind.
home, take it home, take it home.
You get half a point for that. You don't
I
get
just
the full
want to
point.
take you home.
I said the name.
She did say it. You're gonna get the point, but that's how this works.
I would give her no points.
This
I was
girl,
not
don't
gonna
be a
get it.
hater. I was Bow Wow.
You was not gonna get Bow
All
Wow,
right,
bro?
first of all, Leslie, no. I fuck with Bow Wow, but you don't know. Y'all talked about getting the albums, like what was it, Wanted? What was the joint?
Mhm.
I low key won that in some stupid thing. And I remember listening to that. I was like, oh snap, people slipping on Bow Wow. But Leslie's a huge Bow Wow fan.
You
So
know I've been listening to him since
Come
he
on.
came out. So
She's part of the Shad Moss fan club. She has the app. So
not now. He's corny now, but
he-
growing
he-
up.
I feel like he always been corny. It's just like he should have grew out of that,
Yes, he's about to be like 35.
All right,
Still
who
corny.
is
It's
more
like
corny, Bow
You're
Wow
too
or
old.
Nick Cannon?
Bow Wow.
Nick Cannon.
Nick Cannon.
But
Nick Cannon is corny, not corny.
He
There's a
turned that
difference.
into a show where he could just be a character in corny now.
Okay, that's real. He made it work
That's
for
valid.
him.
That's actually
He made it
very
work
valid.
for him. That don't make him not corny
Yeah.
though.
That's very true.
Nick
That's all I'm
Cannon
gonna
is
say.
Corny. He got another baby on the way, by the way. Shout out
Okay,
to
a lot
him.
of people be horny. Okay, he ain't alone. He just got more resources. That's all.
More
Anyway,
resources.
next one. All right, we got 4
Okay.
of these.
I'm
So
about to
y'all,
fuck this
everybody
one up.
got a
Go
chance
ahead.
to score, and then
I
we
got
got
one
one.
minute.
One
Hold
person
up.
can go ahead. All right, I could make the party hot. I could make your body rock. Bitches say they fucking with me.
I know
Chances
this.
are they probably not. If I had a dick, you'd probably lick it like a lollipop.
It's a woman.
Hoes speaking cap.
That's
Indian.
Megan Thee Stallion. I can make
Hit.
Body Yaddy.
Hit him with karate chop. I'm
Oh,
forever.
Cardi B, whole speaking Japanese, hit him with karate chop.
Ah,
That's Cardi
who it
B.
is.
Yeah.
What's the name of the song? Because you don't get no point till I get the name of that song.
Hold on.
If it's up, then it's up, then it's
Oh,
up, then it's up.
Cardi
If
B
it's
up.
then it's up, then it's
Hey,
up,
okay.
then it's up.
All right,
And
I'll
me-
give Sean the point. You started on that one, even though you got a little assist, but that's
No,
fine.
I get the point for saying the name.
You didn't say
don't
Cardi
judge me
B
on my
though. You should have said
preferences.
Cardi B up.
Never heard you say that.
You
She
gotta
never
say
said
Cardi
the
B up.
name.
Did you say
Never
Cardi
heard
B
you. I
up?
said Cardi B.
He said Cardi B.
I
If
said
it's
Cardi
up,
B.
then it's up, then it's up,
If-
then it's
if-
up. She
no,
said
you
Cardi B. I said, oh yeah, that's
said-
Cardi B. And
Yeah,
then I
but
said,
you
Leslie,
it's
didn't
up,
kinda
say
then
said
it's
up.
up,
Megan
then
It's
it's
Stallion
called
first.
up. It's just called
You
up. Cardi
said
B up.
Megan the Stallion.
Oh,
You didn't
Trish,
say
we're not
Meg Thee
about to do
Stallion.
semantics now. Come on. Y'all know I'm really winning this game, but continue. We'll let you go ahead, do your thing.
So my
All right.
point. Go ahead.
All right, now this one
You're
is
welcome.
this is a deep cut, kind of sort of off the artist's first album. So that's the only hint you guys are gonna get.
Okay.
It's
You
about
ain't
to
get
be
no hints the
Usher.
other two times.
It's about to be Usher. Go ahead. What is it?
No,
My
it's-
flow is in the pocket like wallets. I got the bounce like hydraulics. I can't call it. I got the swerve like alcoholics.
This
My
gotta
fresh-
be Soulja Boy.
My
or some shit.
freshman year, I was going through hella problems till I built up the nerve to drop my ass up out of college.
Kanye West.
Somebody that
Damn.
dropped out of college. J. Cole.
Now I'm not sure which song.
You're
It sounds
a
like
Kanye
it's
girl.
through the wire.
My teacher said I was a loser. I told her, why don't you kill me? I give a fuck if you feel me. I'm gonna follow my heart. And if you follow the
That's cool.
track,
Kill
to
me, I
the
don't know the
flag,
name
to
of
the
the
flag,
joint.
you ain't gotta guess who's back. See, I'm
Throw
so
your
shy that
hands.
you thought I was
throw your
bashful.
hands. Throw 'em.
I have no.
You fucking me. I'm about in the bounce like hydraulics. I got to go like hydraulics. I can't call it. I got to serve like alcohol.
This is for Josh, so I knew he would know it. But this
I'm
is
kicking.
this is
I'm
for
killing
him.
myself because I don't know the name of this shit. Get them high.
Yes,
Ah,
good job.
there you
Good
go.
job.
There you go.
Excellent.
Quality-
Excellent. We're all
quality
So
on the
one
time.
board.
point, Josh. 1 point, Shauna. No points, Leslie.
But can we
No,
shout
don't
out
do
to
that. I got my
Talib?
points. Cause no, ma'am. No, if you got your points, I got my points. No,
Can we shout out
ma'am.
to the Talib
We're
verse?
not doing that today.
And Talib went hard on that for no reason.
He did. He did. And
nice.
Common actually went hard on it, and we didn't even know it was going to be dope. You know, it was great. It was a good moment for rap for sure. Okay, this one, yeah, we're gonna do this one, but just know that. Oh shit!
This the last one.
1, 2, 3. No, we have two more. We have two more. This one, because I want everybody to have a chance, like to have a real chance. So
he wants you to get a point, Leslie.
I got my point. If you got your point, I got my point. That's all I'm saying. So it's up to y'all how y'all want to do it.
That's what he said. He said, I want everybody, aka Leslie, to get a point.
No, if you got a point, I got a point. Otherwise, neither of us got points. So how you
Here we go. Okay, now catch up to my campaign. Coupe the color of mayonnaise. I'm drunk and high at the same time, drinking champagne on the airplane
at the same time.
Coupe the same.
Spit round.
2 Chainz.
Right, but what's the name of the fucking song?
You don't know.
You know what I'm talking about.
I don't know because I've never heard the name of the song.
It's 2 Chainz.
Let me keep going. Let me keep going. Spit rounds like a gun range. Bow. Beat it up like Rampage.
I'm so mad because I know the joint.
100 bands cut yo girl. Now yo girl need a band-aid.
Is it 2 Chainz Click?
Yeah, what the fuck is that?
That's incorrect because he's not on that song. Grade A1. Chain the color of Akon. Black diamonds, back priming, co-signed by Louis Vuitton. Horsepower. All the polar on. I got horsepower. Out to 4,000. Not
I know I can't think of the
more
name.
shout. Rain. Pouring.
Lamborghini Mercy.
Yes.
Lamborghini Mercy.
Who said it?
2 Chainz Mercy.
Good job. Thank you.
But no, if I'd never said.
But no, if I'm singing the
You gotta say the artist, Leslie.
Fair.
Those are the rules.
Fair.
Those are the
points.
rules.
Y'all.
Why won't you just say 2
Niggas wouldn't have known if I ain't say 2 Chainz. That's all I'm saying.
No. I would have caught that, but I couldn't think if it was Click or not.
All I'm saying is I got a
2 Chainz
point.
isn't on
I got at
Click.
least half a point.
I will give Shauna did say 2 Chainz.
If we anyway, go on.
So y'all want to
This
split
last
points?
one
Y'all
is- go
want
on.
0.3 points apiece?
I
Sure.
do.
Okay, I mean
Sure.
y'all can have.
Leslie mad, but she knew I said
So,
that.
Shauna,
I
you
said
got
2 Chainz.
one
I never
point.
said you did say 2 Chainz, girl. I never said that.
So Leslie, you
I just
have
know I said
1.83
chorus,
points.
'cause
So
I did
Sean,
Bow
you
Wow.
have 1.83 points. Josh, you have 1.3 points. Leslie, you have 0.5 points.
No, I
Oh,
got
0.8
Bow Wow.
points.
You cannot
That's
take
0.8
Bow Wow away
points.
from me.
That's
You
0.8
cannot
points.
take.
Nah, she kinda got Bow Wow.
If you gave Shauna Cardi, you got to give Bow Wow. That's only fair.
Okay,
Leslie-
all right. That is
Leslie was the
fair.
person,
That is
if
fair.
you didn't get points in class, Leslie was like, "No, I need to get points on my test."
That's how I had straight A's. That's how I had 3.8.
That's fine.
I
You
was
got to
doing
fight
what?
for your points. So 1 point.
Listen, y'all
1
not about to
point.
give me
This
that
is the
thing.
last one. This
So
is
everybody
what
has
matters.
1.3 points. That's fine. So
Okay,
we're all
go ahead.
tied.
This is the last one.
So then now this song, okay, now this
I'm
song,
about to fuck it up.
everybody should get this one. If y'all don't get this one, I don't know if any of you are millennials. I just really don't know. This song
Let me
actually
tell ya,
even made it to
maybe.
now. It was that popular of a record. And there is somebody deceased on the song, and it was a Summertime Burner. Beautiful song, you know? It comes off below the Mason-Dixon line, this song comes from. And here we go. It's like I got the world in my palms. Yup. I mean, excuse me, your girl up under my arms. She fucked up from the charm. She loved the way
I know it.
the dick stay hard.
Wait, can you be quiet for a
from
second so I can just say
12
this in my head?
till early in the morning. Fine, bitches. If you listening, you heard me. I'm strong. I'm going through your cycle.
Your voice
If you're
is so
going
young, but I
through
know
your
I know
cycle,
this.
I ain't with it. I'm gone.
Fine bitches if you listening. Oh, that's not the beat.
You must have heard about them hoes that I beat up in my home.
I
did go on with
Hey,
him.
because your voice is throwing me off, Tristan. Shut up for a second. Let me
That's
just
the point. That's the fucking point of the game.
No, because I can't hear it
And I
in the
can't
right
catch
tone
no
'cause
kind
it's
of rhythm
voice.
right now.
That's why I do it this way, and I don't rap it till later.
Jay-Z,
Incorrect.
Biggie.
They wasn't telling the truth, baby. You know they was wrong. Now make it official.
Juvenile slow motion.
Well, no,
Good
y'all
job.
really
Yay.
I wasn't-
They wasn't telling the truth, baby.
I
You
was
know
waiting
they was
because I was
wrong.
like, I can't catch no
Especially
rhythm.
when some of that dong.
I don't mind.
You right, Drew.
Yeah,
Where I'm driving. I
Especially
feel like
when
I'm
I'm
like,
driving
Tristan,
you.
shut up. I can't think. when
That's
you
the
talk like
point.
that.
You're not
But-
supposed to.
It's the most seasonless reading of the lyrics. I'm like,
That's what I'm saying.
lost.
That's
so
why
white.
it's difficult. If I were to read the lyrics in cadence, you would get it immediately.
I just need you to be quiet so I can read them in my own
Can't
head
do
and
that.
in my own
Can't
head.
do
You
that.
don't-
That's the point. That's
No.
the point.
The point is, I won.
You did win. Good job.
Shout out to
Y'all was
Leslie.
trying to keep me down.
She
Y'all was
was-
trying to cheat on
She
me,
was
but
fighting
I
for them.
won.
She really
points.
was.
No, if you're gonna give her a point,
Wait.
I need to get a point too.
Listen, I advocate for myself. You ain't about to jip me. Come on.
There
now.
was one more song, but it's okay. We'll let that go for another day. Anyway, I think we have some questions for you, big dog.
Yeah, what's up?
that was cute. Y'all,
That was funny.
had to get a little feisty, fight for my
Y'all,
rights.
y'all always crack me up because Leslie and Shauna be on this joint hard. Like,
They go for it. They go
Leslie
for it.
be trying to act like we're not best friends, and we are.
Sometimes.
It's true.
No, but Josh, we are once again so happy that you're here. I think you have an amazing story to tell. So I just wanted you to have the platform to do that and just to share your story with others. So we're gonna jump right into it. Come on, cutie. We're
Wait,
gonna
what
jump
is
right
that?
into it.
Oh, that was a frat thing. I'm like, what is Tristan doing?
That was
We don't
Quad
sound real
Drew.
frat.
Quad Drew is for you.
I
That was for them.
Shit. I didn't pledge. Sorry.
He didn't. Well, I did, but that's not that.
You're gonna go ahead.
Anyway, bringing it back in. So, Josh, just talk about your journey. Just kind of walk us through it. I want to start with, we met at Howard, and you were, of course, majoring in engineering. So, initially, what did you think, your career path would look like once you graduated with your engineering degree? What was what did you kind of seek out to do? What did that look like?
Yeah, so I've always been
Shout out to the
a
robotics team.
nerd. Yeah, shout out to the CX. I know that they don't change their name, but it's always gonna be CX me. High school, I forgot. I think I just always like sketching. I always like drawing. I've always been kind of like the artistic kid that like drawing cars. So at some point, and my pops is actually a mechanic. He was in the Navy. He got out. He still works as a mechanic. So I've always tinkered with stuff, and I always like sketching. So ideally, I started figuring out like, oh, I could do something in a technical field where I'm drawing. So ever since I was younger, I always said, oh, I want to design cars. Like I love Hot Wheels. I build stuff with Legos and Connects. Let me do that. When I got to Howard, I got accepted Howard early. I realized like college was a little tougher than I thought it was gonna be. But I was really because I was socializing, like Howard. I was all around just socializing. I was networking, as they say.
Come on,
You know what's
They
crazy?
say.
Do you remember when we met,
That's
bro?
what they call bullshitting in college.
Do you remember when we met and who you introduced me to? One of the first days there at Howard.
First, they kept calling me Red Hat because I had a red hat on.
I do remember that.
Did I-
I do remember that.
That
Who
was
did I
basic.
introduce you to? 'Cause
One of my exes, bro.
it was, yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Hey,
Yeah.
What,
Yeah.
did it start with a K?
Yeah, unfortunately.
Here
Yeah.
you, Leslie.
I know,
Leslie, chill
Leslie
out.
gotta be-
Chill
Leslie
out.
gotta
Say
be-
no
Tristan.
names. We know who we talking about.
Tristan be on that name shit. Chill
I mean,
out.
but it's his name to reveal.
Look,
Like, anyway.
I understand. It was great because I got to meet a lot of people freshman year. My grades did suffer. I tell my students that all the time.
I feel you.
But from there, I got to meet like a lot of engineers, a lot of everybody. What made me shift my ideas was I remember one, we all went in right during the what's it called, recession. So then that made us rethink our majors. And they're like, well, you have an engineering major, you'll be fine. But the auto industry failed. So I remember there's a big news about auto industry failed, them having to bail out on the auto industry. And it made me rethink it. And around that time, I was looking into alternative energy. So that's when I focused into, well, maybe I can look into this. I remember graduation, coming in, not doing well my freshman year, put me into that 4-year, 5-year track. I had to take time off. That put me into that 5-year, 6-year track. I always like to say I took 2 victory laps. So then, you know, by the time I was coming out, I realized I really didn't want to go into industry. I just wanted to do research. If I could just work in a lab. Applied to grad school, didn't get into none of the grad schools I applied to. And I was kind of in one of those situations where I was like, I don't want to go back to Connecticut, but I still want to find a way to get into a lab. So I fell into teaching. And it wasn't anything I really like thought I was going to do. I remember one of my friends was like, "Oh, I can see you as a teacher," and I laughed. I was like, "You funny? Me dealing with kids, you funny." And then I ended up teaching. So it was really a great opportunity because I was still teaching in DC. We know how like kids are in DC. They grown. So like
Yeah, they
I'm
jive
teaching
they jive
kids,
like real grown.
but they drive like Kilmo. They drive like
Right.
you ain't
Yeah,
about to tell me
they put their
nothing.
gut face on and everything.
And I'm still like I still know the kids that graduated that I worked with. And it was a great opportunity to just like realize that I don't have to know everything. I can come in with my 2 Fs for this programming class, and I'm teaching programming. So it was a great way to be like, I don't have to be the best. I can still be learning it with the kids. From there, I kind of just hopped around. I fell into construction. I moved out to California. I was still working with kids, still working with youth. I was tutoring. Construction moved me out to Arizona, and wanted to be back to family, landed me back in Connecticut, where I fell back into teaching again. So it's always been like a thing where I've kind of bounced around a couple of jobs, but I've already come to realize like education, and whether that's teaching engineering, whether that's teaching poetry, just in general, that's always going to be something that's like close to my heart. And then along the way, I kind of always been rapping and doing music. And when I came back home, I was able to take more time with that. So even how that came across, it was more of like a doing something on the side to like stress reliever. I've always loved music and poetry, but then when the position opened up to apply for the poet laureate, I wasn't going to apply, and it was my friends that was like, "You need to apply before someone else gets in there." And then we have someone that's maybe not active, that doesn't look like the city, that doesn't share the perspective of the city. And when I applied, honestly, there was probably like 2 other people, and I was blessed to get that position. So coming into that has been its own challenge and new perspective in itself. But yeah, that's more or less how I fell into a lot of. I kind of like to say I failed up, because a lot of things like it wasn't what I thought I was gonna do, but it kind of revealed itself to me over time. So yeah, that's more or less everything in a nutshell.
I felt like
I
we went
love
on this first date with you, and I loved it. Thank you.
Yeah.
It was a
Waiter,
great
could you bring
first
some more
date.
wine, please? A
Yeah.
Malbec, single reserve, please, to the table.
Yo, I downplay all of that in like a first date. I'm like, I kind of did.
Well,
I
low
love
key,
what
because
you
I
said
know
about
part of that
filling up,
story
though.
is attached to a couple other people. So it's like, yeah,
Yeah.
we'll let it happen in time.
Yeah.
So I was just gonna say, I love that you say you failed up, because I feel that like I feel the same way in certain circumstances and career paths that I've gone through. So I totally get that. What subject do you teach?
So I teach engineering. So I
Okay.
teach engineering, which is through Project Lead the Way. That is like the curriculum that we teach through. And I also teach 3D modeling, which is actually funny because I got some stuff like floating around here. So
You
this is like
keep a
when
3D printer on hand,
of course
bro?
I do. Of course I do. This is something I 3D printed. It's an Omni wheel. So
That's
it can go
cool.
forward. And if you have 2 wheels the same way, these actually roll this way too. So if you turn, the wheels can basically turn side to side or going forward and back. So this is for
That's
my
so fancy.
robotics team. I printed off some stuff.
That's
So I get to,
dope.
I get to play around, printing some stuff off.
Print out the Green Lantern ring right now.
I did the Batmobile. I did Pokemon. I got all kinds of stuff in my room.
That's dope.
So do you enjoy teaching overall?
So I do enjoy teaching. I hate grading. I hate lesson planning. Like there's certain parts of this that I'm like, I cannot stand. But overall, when I get to hear from a student that's like transitioned, one of my students that I first taught in DC just had a daughter like a year or 2 ago.
Aww.
And I'm like, you're so young. I'm like, Dad, you 26. Like, what am I talking about? Like
Oh,
you,
wow.
yeah, like they're at that age now, where I get to see them transition through college. I get to still connect and talk with them. I think that's like the best feeling when they hit me and they're like, damn, like I wish I listened to you. I'm like, hey, like you still got the lesson. I'm still proud to see their growth, you know. So definitely.
That's dope.
Are any of them
Aw.
teachers now?
Ironically enough, I'm not sure. I know some of the students I've taught have talked about coming back in education,
Mhm.
but it's also from the standpoint of like they're so sick of like the education system that they want to improve it. So I'm
Yeah.
like, absolutely, because we
Please.
already know how archaic this system is. So
Yeah. Do you
Does
know
it
if
ever
any of
make
them
you feel old? Because I know that
So what?
I'm being dead serious. Does it ever make you feel old? Because I have students, I remember my first year after I graduated from Howard and stuff, started working with these kids. Now, one of the young ladies that I used to work with is about to graduate from Howard.
Oh,
What the? You're so old. So
Yeah.
then I'm like, oh my God, am I that old?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
It
Yes, you
doesn't
are.
until they say some like slick
Yes,
shit.
yes. In fact,
So,
you
like,
are old, nigga.
So I'll have
You
them play
know
music
somebody
on,
from high school through college. You're
Yeah.
old.
Yes.
I'll have them play music on Friday. I'm like, pick a song. And they'll be like, one kid said, oh, like Rich Boy. And he's like, I love throwbacks. And I looked at him like, fuck
What
you,
the
throwbacks.
fuck?
Like, what you mean?
Did you pick him up and choke him?
Hell
Did you choke him?
no.
Should choke him at that
I looked
moment.
at him.
Should have
What you-
whooped his ass.
Throwback. I love throwbacks. Man, fuck
Oh
you.
my God. You know what they're saying nowadays, though? Instead of saying like we were born in like the 80s and 90s, they're saying you're born in the 1900s. Like, how disrespectful
People
is
say that. It's
Disrespectful.
mad
I'll whoop
disrespectful.
somebody ass if they ask me if I was born in the
No, it's mad
1900s.
disrespectful. I hear it all the time too. They're like, look, it's 2022. If you were born in the 1900s, yo,
Oh my gosh.
yo.
Like, I want to
Yo.
fight you. Like, why are you doing this?
You almost
Oh,
just got
hell, I'm
slapped.
about to whoop your ass. You better shut up too.
Oh my goodness. Well, can you talk to us about how teaching was during this crazy pandemic, how it
Oh, God.
affected you, how it
If you need to stretch
changed?
out and walk around before
Right.
you start the story, you
Sip
do
of
it.
water. Like, talk to us about that.
This the part that's really unique about this experience is because I teach an elective, which isn't, you know, a main course like English, math, history, science. The way I still remember the day that it was going to happen. One, the students always know it before the teachers do, because the students were like, Mr. Brown, I heard that we're going to go virtual. And I was like, I didn't hear this. They're like, oh, well, this school did, this, said that. And I was like, well, I'm not sure. I'll let y'all know. We had a meeting. It was like literally that same day we had a meeting, and one of the older teachers, shout out to the older teachers because they don't give a fuck. And they were like, one, they will tell you how it is. So one teacher was like, oh, we're going virtual. And the admin was like, how do you know? He was like, you said maybe too many times, so we're about to go virtual. And I remember they're like, well, let's make packets to send home. So I got my little stuff. I'm printing out a little bit of stuff. I was like, I want my students to do some stuff. And I walk into the office and it looked like, you've seen like the scenes when they're like cutting drugs up. It looked like they were like all like making an assembly line of like papers and packets.
Oh my
And
God.
I kind of walked in like, oh, well, I have my packet. And they're like, don't worry about it, Mr. Brown, like you're good. And so I kind of was just like, so do I go home? And it literally was like, I went home, we went virtual. And for electives, we didn't do shit for like a month.
Oh,
Like, a
wow.
smooth month. And it felt crazy because we're sitting there like, what do we do? We're just like, yeah, we're getting paid, but to not have anything to do to contact with your students, it just felt like time kind of just froze for us.
Mhm.
And like I was able to work on other things like music and everything else, but by the time we came back into teaching our students, we're on Zoom. I haven't seen them for a month and a half. Like I'm trying to teach you, and I'm coming in on the Zoom calls like, good morning, class.
They're not interested. They like,
I saw, you know, feel free to cut your camera on if you want to. Nothing, no response.
No
I'm in the
cameras,
chat.
nothing,
Like it literally was
yeah.
black screens. And I'm not gonna lie, it was depressing as hell. Like
Yeah.
coming, I have to keep talking. And it wasn't until I like played Among Us, like we were playing some kind of game. I had to get like some kind of game like Tristan did. I have him pick a song. I'm like, guess whose song it is. But even then I'm reading. I'm like, oh, Leslie just said this. So well, good guess,
Wow.
Leslie. But I was talking to myself for a smooth couple months. So it was depressing, man. I'm not gonna lie. Like it was it was weird to come into that sense. Like a lot of my students didn't have the technology, the computers they needed until the pandemic. It took a pandemic for my students to get computers. So for us to go through that and then them the next year to be like, oh, we're coming back hybrid, and we're getting back to normal. It's like there's no way that you can address this. You had students falling behind, some students doing great. You had students that were failing, and we were forced to give like it was that weird dichotomy, right? I don't want to fail these students, but they haven't done nothing all year, but they're stressed out because they've been at home. Like, so it was a weird mix of like trying to help them and then students getting pushed to the next level to where now my freshmen have not been in school for the past 2-3 years. So I have freshmen that are really sixth graders. If you think about it, I have juniors and seniors who are freshmen and sophomores in the mindset, right? So I have a junior that I battle every day to the point where the whole class is like, yo, you are immature. Like you should not be acting like this as a junior. But then I'm also able to take a step back, like, because you're a freshman. You didn't have an eighth grade. Have y'all like had an eighth grade graduation?
Yeah.
They didn't have no eighth grade graduation. They didn't have no summer to get ready for high school. They didn't have any of that. Think about that. I feel worse for my seniors. A lot of my seniors that I was teaching, juniors, they're just in college now. Like think of like just
blinking. Did they even have a prom?
No
graduation.
We had a drive-through graduation, and it was a pre-recorded graduation. What? So we're in the cars in the parking lot honking when someone crosses the stage virtually.
What?
And imagine waking up at Howard like that. Like and then then you go to college and it's the virtually attending Howard.
You paying all this money and can't even see people, go to the classes. You talk about professor.
It's exposed a lot of the holes in our system. I've had students who are like, Mr. Brown, how do you feel about this? And I was like, I hope this whole thing burns down. Like I know I'm not supposed to say that, but that's how I feel. I was like, it's an archaic system, and that all it took was a pandemic for everything to break down. So now they're pushing to go back to normal, but it's too late. You can't throw in a couple of classes and a couple of like meetings and think that you can just fix it. Like you have to address like the gap, because it really is a 2-year gap now. And you're pushing students to graduate and apply to college. And some students, like I know a lot of students are like, no, I'm not going to college. I'm not going to do virtual work. I hated virtual, going online for work. So more or less, number of teachers is dropping like crazy. There's a high demand for teachers. Number of substitutes is dropping like crazy. Admin. I remember because we had that recent uptick in COVID, we had 30 teachers out 1 week. Ooh, and 30 teachers out for one day to the point where we had to have a half day. So I'm telling you, your teacher friends is struggling. That's like saying it nicely, like we hurting out here, and students are feeling it too. So, I don't know how long I'll be in education. I'm here to like help my students, but at the end of the day, I also have to look out for my own mental health, because this has been,
of course,
I tell you, this has been one of the most exhausting things these past 2 years. So that's more or less kind of like what it's been like.
So it sounds like you have a lot going on. What do you use as like an outlet? Is your music and your poetry an outlet for you when you're having these rough days in a classroom?
Definitely. I think the biggest thing that I've learned that helps is just being honest about it. So when I'm having a rough day, I tell my class I'm having a rough day. I tell them if I don't have energy. Like I'm very honest about that. You'll be very surprised, which people shouldn't be, that although teenagers can be cruel and they can be teenagers, when you are very honest with them, they will give you that room and give you that space. I've had like a couple of days where like, not only was it, I was like, fuck this shit, I'm out. It was like a couple of times where I was like ready to go, and I was like, look, y'all, I don't got the energy today. Like I'm exhausted. Like I'm tired. And so then, oh, my bad, Mr. Brown, like, this, that. So even then, I'll meet him halfway. Like, look, I'm just going to ask y'all to continue doing this. Like, I'll play a video or I'll play something at the end, which helps. Then it's also the sense of talking to like other teachers. Like, we all been like saying the same thing, man. Like, we all really have been saying the same thing. Because when you have, like from orders on top or admin who are like, above all else, take care of yourself. We're like, yo, there's only so many times you can tell me that, but then be worried when I'm taking the day off or I am calling out, which I've done several days. There's some days where I just call out. Like, I can't, like, I'm tired. I need to take a day. And then they'll be like, how are you doing? I was like, I'm exhausted. I'm drained. And like, when I'm very blunt with them, instead of trying to sugarcoat it, oh, well, you just want to make sure you have what you need. It's like, well, I needed the day off. That's why I took it.
So, that's what my damn PTO was for.
Look, I'll never forget when I was in high school, there was this kid, I don't want to say his name, but he would basically take days off that were called his last name. So he would just call them his last name days and he would just take them off. He was like, well, I have 11 saved up. So, I'll just, I'm like, what do you mean you have 11 days saved up? He would just take them off. And the teachers got it. They were like, he needed it. I get it.
Makes sense. I be needing days off. That makes sense. I think about taking off tomorrow. I ain't gonna lie to y'all.
I'm taking half day tomorrow.
I'm like, I kind of got something to do tomorrow.
You know what? And it also was there's several other times I've had instances where I thought I didn't have time off and I wasn't taking it off until like something happened and I stressed myself out and now I need to take a day off and my company's like, don't worry about the time. And I'm like, well, I wish y'all told me this shit months ago. Like,
right. When
I been taking off work. Hell yeah, I would have been doing this.
Look.
But do you go for, so when you're having these rough patches, right? And you need an outlet, do you think that music or poetry is your number one outlet?
Premeditated murder he wrote. Told me she loving the poetry and studying the stroke. Yeah. Premeditated murder he wrote. Told me she loving.
And you know what time it is? We want to shout out again and thank Josh for stopping by at Urban Nerd, Mr. Professor Brown, if you're a student, okay? And it's time for reset.
So we're going to skip the music portion for this week and go straight into television. And I know Leslie had a lot to talk about from the things she's been watching this weekend. So Leslie, first and foremost, please talk to us about this little Janet Jackson thing.
Because you've been talking about it for a minute now. So go ahead and give us the team.
Everyone has been talking about it.
Who is everyone? I ain't met nobody but you talking about this.
Because I ain't seen it. So
I mean, I've been sick. It was a sickly rock.
All the memes were flying across social media after the first episode aired. It was 2 parts. Friday night, 2 hours, Saturday night, 2 hours. And when I tell you, like, the internet was a buzz. So first night, it literally started from, the Jackson 5 growing up, Gary, Indiana, getting started with their, like, Las Vegas show and everything like that. It touched on, them basically growing up in Sin City and everything. Then moving from Gary to LA and how it was a pretty much racist neighborhood. They didn't want them there, stuff like that. And then it moved, of course, into her meeting like James DeBarge and everything. They got married secretly when she was 18.
What?
Mm-hmm.
Well, goddamn.
They got married. Yep. And
I mean, it was a secret, apparently, but no one knew. So.
Well, we knew they was together. Like, I've known that they had a thing together because, there was always those rumblings that she had a secret child that she kept away from him, which she addressed those rumors as well, saying that's not true. They said it was Reeve's child, was it Randy's child, Jermaine's child, like, because they're so similar and like, the facial features, stuff like that. But she was like, I could never have a child and keep him away from his father. So no, that wasn't true. But she didn't know when they were just talking, getting to know each other, that he had a drug problem, and that didn't surface until after they were married. And they were married for only a year, so she ended up getting it annulled because things just got out of control with that.
Didn't they consummate the marriage though?
I mean, duh.
So how can you get it annulled?
Consummate
How can you get it annulled if it's it don't matter. Continue
What
on.
does consummating have to do
That
with
don't have
annulment?
nothing to do
If
with
you
that.
consummate a marriage, you
Consummating
can't get it.
fucking.
Yeah, you can't get it annulled after that. Once you consummate the
What?
marriage,
Because
after
we
like
fucked,
No,
now we
that's
can't
not true.
not
People
then-
get
annul it. That's
annulments
not
every day.
true.
B.
Annulment has a daytime
Yeah.
requirement. Like we can annul it within like the first year.
a
Mhm.
year.
That got
I
nothing
thought
to
it
do
was
with
in the
us
first month.
fucking.
I never heard enough to know a year. That's crazy.
It's a
Yeah.
year. Just like with
You
Kim
have like a
K
year.
and Chris Humphries, they was like 72 days they got it annulled. Like it's a time frame.
Yeah, they
That
don't give a
was-
fuck if you had sex.
Yeah, that was under
Everybody
3
knows
Because you
months.
have it outside of marriage, so what?
We done been did that. Bust that was
It depends on what state it is. There are different rules about annulment, but like there are some rules where like if you consummate the marriage, you cannot get it annulled.
Well, no, they got theirs annulled. And so then it moved on, of course, until up until like she was still under her dad, you know, he was regulating her career. Her albums weren't as successful as she hoped they would be. Then when she, you know, told him she didn't want him to be her manager anymore. That's when,
Control.
exactly.
But I
She
won't.
worked with Paula Abdul, shot to the top of the charts, and that's when like the Janet we know stepped out and everything. So it went through all of that, went through like Rhythm Nation. Of course, it talked about the whole Justin Timberlake you know, Super Bowl incident,
it is.
which I'd already watched the Hulu documentary on that, so that really took a deep dive into it. So it's just sad that like she caught so much flack and all the attention was on her about that,
And the
and
white man
her
got to go
career
be
took a
white
huge
again.
hit. But Justin's career was pretty much elevated after that. Like they disinvited her from the Grammys while Justin got to perform and was nominated for like 5 Grammys that
Had
year.
a beautiful
like,
suit on that year though. It was a pink and black situation. It was a beautiful suit.
Nobody
Continue
cares.
on.
Nobody cares. So it took us
Don't
through
care.
that journey. It took us through her other relationships with Renee, who it started off great.
Renee, like from Renee and Angela?
I forgot his last name. He came from the family that worked in film and stuff like that. I forgot. Just Google Renee and Janet and it'll pop up.
Okay.
But yeah, it started off great, but then her friends, you know, commented that, you know, they could start to see that it just became like more of a controlling thing. Like he told Janet, you know, kind of how to dress or like what to do in the music video that he directed and stuff like that. And it just became a situation where it was just like she didn't have that freedom anymore that she once had. So they didn't work out. She then met Jermaine Dupri and she was like, Jermaine's just such a good guy. Like we were friends. We were having so much fun.
First of all, this Janet voice is funny as fuck.
I mean, it's pretty accurate.
she's so
It's pretty
social.
accurate.
Jermaine is such a good guy.
She's just so like tender, like so yeah. So anyway, she talked about them and how they dated for a while, and then you know he did ask her to marry him, but they were still living on like 2 separate coasts, like they hadn't figured out where they're gonna live. And then he was saying how, you know, being with Janet attracted more women. He was like, man, I was a man, so he essentially cheated on her. But she said it wasn't just the cheating, it was also the fact that like his career was really starting to take off and he was like married to his career and he wasn't like giving her the time and attention and stuff that she actually needed to sustain the relationship.
Jermaine Dupri stepped out on Janet. That's hard to believe.
Bro, why do these
That's
oogly
wild.
men like him and Jay-Z think
Jay-Z
they step
cheated on
out these
Beyonce,
beautiful
so I'm
women?
that surprised. Like niggas, ugly niggas cheat every day. Us
I'm-
only ugly niggas with money. Let's be clear.
That's what it is. Money and power, influence.
Ugly niggas without money would probably be a little more faithful, but
They
ugly niggas
would drink
with
her
money-
bath water. Like
Yeah.
so it went through all of that and just like the ups and downs and highs and lows of her life. And of course it talked about how she was about to sign a Coca-Cola deal. You know, Michael's with Pepsi, but she was getting ready to sign a Coca-Cola deal when all the allegations against Michael came out. So Coke changed their mind, you know, we know the allegation. So Coke changed their minds. But you know, the whole family stood by Michael. They didn't believe anything. And it also went through when she was filming Why Did I Get Married? That was the second one. What I Get Married.
She was in
too.
that. Yes.
Mhm.
For Color Girls too, she was in that too.
Yeah, but we're talking about when she was filming Why Did I Get Married Too? That's when she got the news when she was on set that Michael had passed. And you know that scene where she takes the golf club and like breaking the glass and everything. She filmed that scene right after finding out. So those are those real raw emotions of her, you know, finding out she lost her brother and everything. So it literally just took her through each stage of her life and everything that happened. She gave her account. Lots of people were on there, like Regina King talked about film Poetic Justice with her and her chemistry with Tupac. Whoopi gave some commentary. Samuel gave commentary. Paula Abdul was on there. Her brother Randy. They went and toured what the Gary, Indiana house looks like now, which of course has been renovated since, but it just brought back so many memories from them. But it was great. It was a thorough documentary. The only thing was like the last part where they started talking about her son, they like skipped over the fact that she got married to this, Arab billionaire and had a son with him. She just went into straight talking about, becoming a mother at 50 and how much she loves her son. So I'm pretty sure there's like an NDA in place there too, where she can't like really talk about him.
It's not our business. It's not our business.
It was just funny how that happened because she literally did a deep dive into all her other relationships, and then with him.
Well, this shit is still fresh. That shit is in the past. This is fresh.
It's been like 5 years, like 4 or 5 years.
Are they still dating? Are they still dating?
Huh?
Are they still dating?
No, they've been done.
Obviously.
They got divorced. They've been done.
Okay, well.
Yeah. So, and it just showed her getting her like a star on the Hollywood Walk of Fame, being inducted into the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame. Show, clips from all her tours, especially like the Velvet Rope tour when they like brought the guys on stage and everything. They was freaking out, losing their minds and stuff. So it was great. If y'all get a chance, check it out because it's really thorough. And she just felt it was important for her to tell her own story and instead of having someone else come in trying to tell her story for her. So they've been working on this for like 5 years.
So this is her last dance. Okay. All right.
I wouldn't say Last Dance because I know she's still playing.
Michael Jordan, Last Dance.
Oh, the documentary. Yes. I thought you meant like she's done. Like
no.
Yes,
the bitch died.
Yeah, I was like her swan song. Like what? What are you talking about?
No, as in like this is her show. Okay, I got it. All right, as long as she paid for it and has some say over it, now I'll take a look.
Definitely, yeah. This was 5 years of labor of love for her, but I'm happy she did it. It gave a lot of people more insight on what she felt at different times in her life and what she went through. But she's resilient, man. I'm telling you, she's one of the greatest to ever do it and one of the highest paid to ever do it as well. So shout out to Janet.
No, well, man, I love Janet. I could name a million of her songs. I just love so many things that she's done. Like she was just like the bad, like I wasn't even thinking about ladies having abs until I looked at Janet. I was like, my God.
I was never thinking
her and FloJo for sure. Rest in peace, FloJo. But my Lord, Janet, just so many great, like, oh my God. Like I do a couple of her tunes in karaoke, okay, right now. All right. It's not a game. It's not a game.
When she goes back out on tour, I'm going. I have to go. I have to see her in my lifetime. So hopefully once Covina goes away, she can go back on tour. So
oh no, I gotta see Janet, man. I was so jealous. My parents went to go see her when I was a kid, and I was like, wish they would have taken. Now I don't know what I would have gotten out of it at like 4, but would have loved to see her.
We gotta go together. Right.
We're gonna have a whole routine. I'm gonna be ready. Be ready.
Okay. Ready. Other than that, I checked out Women of the Movement, which is on Hulu. How many parts? I think it was like 6 or 7 parts. I can't remember. But I watched
make it through all of those. You said Jada got 2 parts. You said 6 or 7. I don't know.
Yeah. It was one of those, shorter series. But yeah, it's about Mamie Till and of course Emmett Till. So it took a minute for me to like watch. It's been out for like a few weeks now, and people have been talking about it. But I cried whenever I went to the Emmett Till, portion of the African American Museum. So I just knew that I just needed like time before yeah, but it was very thorough. It gave an account of the whole situation of him going down south and everything that happened, and then her like really fighting to try to get him justice, her making a decision to have an open casket funeral so people actually see what these white men did to him.
The most gangster decision I have ever heard in my life.
Yeah,
and talk about a lady from the Chi. Gangster. Chi-town, stand up.
Y'all build different, but just her strength and really trying to get justice, not only for her son, but just to set a precedence. Like, y'all can't just treat us like anything and kill us and harm us and get away with it. And so it just infuriated me, of course, the ending, because they got away with it essentially. And then we know
sold the story to that magazine.
Yeah. And then we know the white woman came out, a few years back saying she made up the whole thing. And they showed that. They showed exactly what happened, and they showed her literally lying on the stand and just elaborating her story. And it's like, girl, bye. So
how did they show that?
They show exactly what happened as far as like
a dramatization of it.
Yeah, so him going to
Okay.
the store and like he like smiled at her, but that was it. But when she testified, he was like, "Oh, he did the," and like it was just so exaggerated, and it's like none of that happened.
No, it didn't.
But they were the only two in the actual store, so it was her word against a dead child. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, that was infuriating.
But a
dead black
child.
child at
But
that.
that's what people forget about with that whole thing. Everybody sees black, white, and all of this. And no, that was a child. They literally in the middle of the night snatched a child and beat him to death. And then couldn't even identify his body, had to use his father's ring to identify his body. To find that just it infuriates me every time I think about that story. And then, oh my God, I know the one line that kills me from that fucking story is the fact that like the jurors were going to they were gonna let them go anyway. Like they didn't even really care about the testimony. It was they were like, what did he say? It was something like, yeah, we would have let you go sooner, but we figured we had to wait a little while just for suspense or something like that. I was like, oh, these fucking people.
Crazy. Yeah, but if y'all want, check it out. I'm not gonna like tell people they need to see it because it is a lot. So you just have to make sure you're able to handle that. But it is, from what I saw and from what I know about the story, it is very accurate to what actually happened. So yep, that's what I watched this weekend.
I mean, I'm glad that you watched those. I really am. Thank you for watching those. I really do.
Dang, we done switched up the little death reports to this. Thanks. No, that was so good. I was still watched. They probably so good.
Yeah.
I mean, the only thing I really watched when I was sick, because I like to watch my greatest hits, is The Last Dance. I watched it again, for like the millionth time now. And it's still just as good as ever. Shout out to Mike, man. Appreciate you, big dog. Really do. Thank you. Thank you for giving the city of Chicago those 6 championships, big dog. We appreciate it. Really do.
All right. Well, I think that's it, right?
Yes,
oh my
that's
God.
what we have for recess this evening.
That really is it. That's crazy, y'all, man. It's time for us to wrap it up today. But we want to send another thank you to our guest, Joshua Brown, aka AnUrbanNerd, aka Professor Brown. If you a student, give him his respect. Put some respect on his name. Okay?
Hey,
Thank
you, Josh.
Really appreciate you, big dog. And thanks for tuning in, man, for episode 18. And we can't wait until next week where you'll get part 2, because we had to chop it up a little bit because we had a lengthy conversation. So please check out part 2. You definitely will enjoy it. And check us out on the Twits. Check us out on the Facebooks and the Ticking and the Talks and the Instagrams and all of those, man. We're out here. We out here for the people, okay? It's a whole
out here. You cannot miss us. If you're missing us, you're trying to miss us.
You really are. And it's fucked up because you're missing out on some good things. You're hurting yourself, all right? That's what you're really doing. So until the next time, guys, I've been Tris.
It's your girl, Liz.
And Shine the Dawn.
And even though the party may change, the vibe remains the same. We out, y'all.
Bye.